a lot of times we look for motivated sellers when we're doing real estate marketing for wholesale deals as an investor. And the challenge is that it cannot just be a motivated seller. It has to be a combination of two things. It's a hybrid of, you need a motivated seller, but you also need a reasonable seller. And a reasonable seller is somebody who understands the situation in terms of the numbers about the deal. And so the majority of the time, the majority of the leads that come in when you're doing any sort of marketing for real estate wholesaling are going to be crap. They're just going to be people that are just out of their minds. They want too much money. They think that offering a $25,000 discount to an investor, offer from Zillow, is enough in order to make a deal happen. And you and I both know that that's not going to be the case. So now you get a variety of different sellers that will submit their information. And let's say you got a deal that is worth $325, but in order to get that deal, let's say in order to make some money on that deal, we got to get it in the low 200s. Well, if that person's asking $300, the possibility that they're going to go ahead and discount that price, $100K, in order to sell the deal, it could happen. There's a fine line between possibility and probability, right? Probability is, hopefully you can hear me with this wind. Probability, I always think about this example, right? Is it possible that you can go to the corner grocery store and buy a lottery ticket and then be able to win the lottery? It's possible, but is it probable? Not really. So is it possible that somebody will go from 300K down to 200? It's possible, but the probability is low. What we find most of the time is where we have a property where the value on Zillow shows us 330, and I'm giving you numbers from an actual deal that I analyzed yesterday. Numbers are 330 and the seller's asking 260. So already we are, 60K, 70K below market. And now we just got to get that deal a little bit less, and then we can make some money on that deal. Now in that particular deal, the property owner has an inherited property that is vacant. So again, that is a great lead, right? Because they need to sell, right? It's not a situation where you got a seller that, interested in selling, but they got to find another house and they got to get a certain amount of money for this house because the interest rates are high, and so they need to be able to make enough money from this house in order to make a deal happen. But in that scenario, they need to sell. They don't give a damn about the market. And that's what you want. You want that type of seller. And then now in that seller, they are reasonable. They're reasonable because they understand that the properties that are selling on the market right now and are selling at the top end of the market are fully rehabbed. And I know this because this is one of our clients. We run ads for motivated sellers, and we have clients that we work with in a partnership fashion in which we help them sell their deals and do transactions, etc. That's where all of our deals come from right now. So if you're interested, click the link in the description. But with those, in that particular situation, the clients, as he was describing me the conversation with the property owner, the property owner understands that, hey, those properties at the higher end, they need work. They're already fixed up. They've already completely rehabbed. And so they said, hey, I know I can't get that much money for my house. Mine needs work, so I'm willing to discount it to give somebody room to be able to do that. That's what you want. Those are like, that's a situation that you want. You want a seller that understands that it's okay for you to make money. And it's going to be a minority of them, but you don't need that many of them, right? If you get 50 leads and only one, if you get 50 leads and you pay $20 a lead and you get one of them that works out to be that way, then guess what? You spend $1,000 to make an average, on our case, $15,000. That's a tremendous ROI on your marketing budget, and so you'll take that all day long. And so what we want, though, however, is reasonable sellers. So keep that in mind as you are generating leads and you're looking through all the leads you have, especially if you're doing online marketing where you have an influx of leads coming in all the time, which you should be doing because otherwise you'd be cold calling and then you'd be causing yourself brain damage. At the end of the day, you got to be doing a sifting and sorting on these leads and figuring out, okay, who's motivated and who's reasonable. And you got to have those two together because they could be motivated, but they can't, they may not be reasonable. Typically if somebody is reasonable, then they're motivated by default because the only way for them to be reasonable is that they're already motivated. So the motivation is causing them to be reasonable, and that's what we want. So I want to share that with you because It's just a distinction that I think would help you tremendously. Let me know if that helps. And by the way, if you are interested, reach out, click the link in the description, see how we can help you generate more seller leads for your real estate wholesaling business without cold calling. And you might want to watch this video here that gives you more details about that.